How do you make sure that you are staying on top of things, but without like chasing the next shiny object and constantly being distracted from technology to technology?
Yeah. Okay. That's an excellent question. So, the number one thing to know is you want to be somewhat of a computer science historian. And I think that if you have a traditional computer science degree and you really sort of pause and understand it and think what you learn, you have a tremendous weapon versus folks who are coming in from non computer science backgrounds or coding schools or whatever it is. Why? If you have some of those core computer science classes in your background, one of the biggest things you're going to see is like, oh, wait a second. A lot of these ideas have been around since the 70s and 80s. There's nothing really all that new here. So you're able to pattern match fairly quickly what you're seeing now with what was there before. And you're like, oh, great. So now we have dependency injection in JavaScript or whatever else using, Angular. Great. That solves the dependency injection problem, which was solved 20 years ago with Java. Great. So it's like you can sort of pattern match very quickly. Do we need it in my current project? Not really. So it's irrelevant. Move on. Right. So it's these kinds of things. You see, there's what's that new build framework? I can't remember. A build tool that just came out a few years ago. So everybody's running to use that. Well, it solves a very real problem with performance for building a lot of these applications. And so yeah. So okay, there's a new tool. How does it do it? Oh, there's a lot more caching. Okay, got it. I know what's happening there. So the more well versed you are in the overall sort of like ecosystem of all of the things that exist in the computer science literature, the more you read, the more you do this, the less you get excited about the technology, and the more you just sort of like, hey, it's just another use case of that. It's an improvement on this. It is an optimization of that. And you're like, we can use that. Most of this is garbage.